All right, guys, I'm not going to do this for very long, but so the little flashing light means I need to do a regen. I'm like wide open throttle, climbing a hill, and it's only giving me about 520 degrees in pyro temps. That pretty much means she is defueling. It's not giving me all my juice. I had my batteries die a couple nights ago, so I ran it all night. These things don't like to idle. And so with that being said, it's going to want to regen now to clean itself out. That's the crappy thing about these. Funny side note, on one of the magazines where they review trucks, according to the expert, you can push the button before you leave to clean the system so it doesn't interrupt your day. Be careful what you believe on YouTube. All right, guys, so we got ourselves pulled over. As you can see, it's, it's been snowing. It's cold out. So the truck's asking for a regen. I could have probably kept going. Well, let's face it. I'm old and I had to go to the restroom. So it's a really simple procedure. You set the parking brake. That's a requirement. And you just push the button. As you can see, the RPMs are coming up. It threw up a check engine light, which is probably related to the SCR issue it's having. It says regen in progress. And so at this point, I just leave it alone. It's gonna do its own thing. It doesn't need me for anything. Let's go back to that. As you can see, the exhaust gas temperature is rising. That's what you're looking for. Basically, it's gonna turn your turbo into a little bit of a flamethrower. It'd be cool if someone could actually demonstrate that. But what it's doing right now is it's fueling the engine aggressively, revved it up to a point where it's going to start getting warmer. You'll notice even my engine coolant temperature will start to rise. In a couple minutes, it's going to be a little over 200 degrees, and my exhaust gas temperature should be probably close to double what it is now. Anyway, so I'm going to run to the restroom. This process can take half hour to an hour, just depending on how bad it is. I let it run the other night because my batteries went dead a couple nights ago. I didn't want to go through that again. And so the scenario there is real simple. I ran it so the batteries wouldn't go dead, but these things do not like to idle. I made the comment earlier, there's a show that everyone seems to think, the guys are like the gurus of trucks. And on one of them, they demonstrated a Freightliner conversion truck. And the comment was that you could hit this button and make the truck regen so that it doesn't ask you for it the minute you get going. It does not work that way. You do not control when the system starts. And it is frustrating because the truck idled all night. If it would have asked me for it during the night, it would have been perfect. I could have pushed the button. It would have, regened itself, cleaned itself out while I idled it all night. It just doesn't work that way. So here we have another light. This is basically saying, be aware you have, high exhaust gas temperatures. And so if you look outside, in spots the ground's frozen, by the time this process is done, about a 6-foot area all around and under the truck, everything will be melted because the truck just became a big heater. Anyway, we can still see the temperatures climbing. I'm gonna walk away, leave the truck, go to the restroom, and if there's anything probative to show in the video later, I'll throw another clip in. Okay, so we're stopped in Syracuse, New York. We're on the turnpike, and we stopped at one of the service centers, as they call it. I'm out of hours. So the The truck ended up asking for a regen as soon as I was done again. Actually, it finished. I jumped on the highway, and right as I was getting up to speed, it asked for another one. And so what I did is I ran it hot on the exhaust side. So basically what you do is you kind of lug the motor, you run lower RPMs, you're hard in the throttle, and that raises your exhaust gas temperatures. And so that did away. I had two items going. If you remember seeing the dash, there was a lightning bolt and there was a check engine light. So the lightning bolt's a fault, and that'll usually derate the engine. Then the check engine light is a it's telling you there's a code in the engine. So I ran it hot. I was pushing 600 to 700 on the EGTs for a few hours. That made the lightning bolt go away, which gave me power back, which made it where I could run it even hotter. And so I just pulled up here out of hours and I started a regen again. We'll see what happens. I think that'll do it though, because obviously it got better as I ran it hotter. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching.